Hey there, geographers, and welcome to the Mr. Sinn channel. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Mr. Sinn, and I am going to help you rock your AP Human Geography class. With the school year now underway, you're probably wondering what you can do to start off the year on the right foot. Maybe this is your first AP class ever, or maybe you're just worried about the start of a new school year. Now, if you are worried, don't panic. I've been teaching this course for years, and I'm here to help you out. I've surveyed my former students and the thousands of wonderful students on my Discord server to help you get the top 5 tips that you need to know in order to succeed this year. So let's count down the top 5 tips that former students wish they knew on day 1 of AP Human Geography. Number 5, vocabulary matters. AP Human Geography is an amazing course. It consists of 7 different units, each with their own unique vocabulary and concepts. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of vocab in this course, and many of the terms connect to all 7 units of the class. So spend time in each unit memorizing, learning, and applying the vocabulary. I cannot tell you how many of my own students missed easy test points because they didn't understand a word or two in the question, or because they mixed up a term with another term. For instance, say you come across a question that asks you to provide an example of an intervening obstacle to interregional migration. Seems straightforward enough, but in the past, I have seen many of my students get intervening obstacle confused with intervening opportunity, and interregional migration confused with intra-regional migration. However, my students that took their time on their test and reviewed and learned the vocab beforehand didn't make these mistakes. Now, there was a bunch of different suggestions as to how to study vocab, but the far majority of students who completed the survey recommended creating flashcards by hand. Overwhelmingly, students recommended that you should write the definition down on a flashcard in your own words, and then provide an example of the term being used. This way, you can not only review the definition, but practice applying the concept as well. Other suggestions for vocab included creating a Quizlet deck, reviewing with friends, creating a Gimkit, or taking notes in a notebook. If you're looking for some more resources to help you review vocab, I made a Gimkit that reviewed the different vocab from Unit 1 and 2, and you can find it in my Discord server. Check out the review section once you get there. Number 4. Ask for help and use your resources. Student after student said they wish they were more comfortable from the start of the year to ask for help. I think these students actually said it best when they responded to the survey saying, if you're not sure about something, ask for help from literally anyone. Everyone is going through the class together and everyone struggles with the content, even if they do not show it. Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. Oftentimes, AP Human Geography is a student's first experience in an AP class, and that can honestly be quite challenging. Always remember to ask your teacher, your peers, and anyone else for help and support. Remember, there is no stupid question. If you knew all of the information, then there would be no reason for you to be in this class. For me, when I'm teaching, I love it when students ask questions in class or come in after for help. For me, really, the worst part of a class is if no one asks any questions and just sits there in silence. Honestly, quiet classes are kind of creepy. Now, the second part of this tip was about resources, and this will vary for each student. Student after student responded to my survey stating that they wished they utilized their resources better and sooner. Countless students stated that they wish they took better notes when going through their textbook. Now, one thing you could try when reading your textbook is summarize the main points after each section. I have my students do sentence summaries, where students read a section of the book and then they have to summarize it into just a couple of different sentences. This not only helps with memory, but also ends up creating a study guide as well. And while it might not be the most fun thing to do, it definitely will help you do better on your tests. Students also wish that they had better utilized College Board to practice more test questions, and that they went to their teacher for more resources and help when they were stuck. Which is a great tip. If you're looking to get better test scores, the best way to do it is to take practice tests. The more you practice with AP level questions, the more you will feel comfortable and the less mistakes you will make. Plus, taking practice quizzes and tests is a great way to see what information you know. That way you can focus your studying on the information that you're not sure of, ultimately saving you time and helping you do better in the class. Remember, there are plenty of resources out there to help support you in your studies. In fact, one of the resources you can use is this channel, where I've already created topic review videos that go along with the course exam description, reviewing everything that you need to know for AP Human Geography. There's also my ultimate review packet, which is brand new this year with updated summary videos, new exclusive topic review videos, more practice quizzes, videos of me taking practice quizzes and explaining all of the answers, and a bunch of other resources to support you in your studies. Also, fun fact, for a limited time, anyone who gets the packet will also get guided notes for all of my YouTube videos so you can study more efficiently and focus on the key concepts. If you are interested in the packet, you can click the link in the description of this video and get a free trial today. Number 3, time management. Look, it's natural to procrastinate, but trust me and all of the students who have taken this class before you, do your best to minimize procrastination. I'm not saying that you'll never do it. Life gets messy and things come up, but create a schedule that works for you so you can minimize your stress and minimize your procrastination. The more you can space out your studying and the more you can stay on top of your assignments, the less sleepless nights you'll have and the less time you'll spend pulling out your hair. Student after student talked about how they wish they procrastinated less and spaced out their studying more. By spacing your studying out, reviewing more, and not procrastinating, you'll reduce your stress, enjoy the class more, and increase your test scores all at the same time. Number 2, active learning and listening. All right, now I get it. It's easy to sit in a class and zone out, or to watch one of my videos and passively scroll through TikTok at the same time. But I can't stress enough how much that being passive in your learning will hurt you. Multiple students wish that they had engaged in their class earlier in the year, stating that once they decided to ask questions and participate in the class, the information became more interesting and less of a chore. When you participate and engage in an activity, it not only makes the activity more interesting, but also makes time go by faster. I know for me, the classes that felt like they dragged on were the ones where I just sat there waiting for the bell to ring. But the classes that always felt short were the ones where I was engaged in the material, asked questions, and started a debate or two. Besides making the class more enjoyable, being an active learner will help you remember more and study less. Just think about how much time you waste studying because your attention is split, or because you're zoning out and really not focusing. Now, I can already hear my own students and possibly you even thinking that, hey, I can multitask, no issue at all. I'm great at it. Well, the reality is you're wrong. And if you don't believe me, do this simple experiment. Make sure to pause the video after I explain each round. Now, for the first round, you need to time yourself saying the alphabet out loud. Now, no cheating. You have to say each letter without skipping any of them. We're going from A to Z. Once you're done timing yourself and you record your time, unpause the video. All right, now for round 2, you're gonna count from 1 to 26. And again, just like round 1, you have to say it out loud and you can't skip any numbers. Once you're done, record your time. Pause the video now. Okay, now that you have your 2 times, it's time for the last round. And here you're gonna alternate between letters and numbers. For example, A1, B2, C3, D4, E5, F6. Time yourself, go through the entire alphabet and 1 through 26. Then record your time. Did you do it? If so, what were your times? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you do need more time to complete the experiment, pause the video. Now, I would bet from round 1 to 2, your times improved or stayed pretty consistent. However, I would also bet that for round 3, the majority of you gave up and you did not finish. Or if you did finish, I'd bet that your time was much longer than the previous 2 rounds. If you think about it, round 3 really shouldn't be that hard. I mean, all you're doing is saying the alphabet and counting to 26. 2 tasks that are relatively simple, and you've done countless of other times. However, we can see that when we put these 2 tasks together, we end up trying to do 2 things at once. This new task is difficult for us. It requires a lot of focus and attention. We end up slowing down, making more mistakes, and oftentimes failing. Now, if we practice this over and over again, eventually these 2 tasks would become one, and you'd become faster and more efficient again. But in order to get there, you'd have to give these tasks your full attention, and you would also have to practice a lot to be able to learn it. The same is true when we are distracted in class, when we multitask when doing homework, or when we are passively going through the motions. So whenever possible, try to make sure that you're active in your learning and be present in the now. You'll be amazed at how much time you'll save from not having to go back and relearn information. Number 1, confidence and mindset. I'm not going to lie to you, there's going to come a time in this class where you will think that you can't do this. There'll come a time when you will be upset about a grade on a test or a grade in your class. And there may even be a time when you want to give up. But I am here to tell you, don't. You can do this. Even if you do not believe me right now, I know you can do this. Remember, this course is meant to be a college level course. You are challenging yourself and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. When the class gets difficult, take a moment and vent, but then go back and see what questions you got wrong on your test or quiz. Go back and think about how you prepared for the test or the quiz, and tell yourself that you can do this. Having a positive mindset and confidence in yourself will make this class and the rest of your high school career so much more enjoyable. Just because you got a bad score on a test or are struggling in the class does not mean that that will be the case in the future. One of the smartest students I have ever taught got a D- on her first multiple choice test and an F on her first FRQ. She didn't study the right material, she messed up on the task verbs on the FRQs, and couldn't pace herself during the test, so she ran out of time. She came into school the next day crying and ready to drop the class. Instead of letting her drop though, I got her to agree to give the class one more shot. We ended up going through the test and reviewed each question she got wrong, worked on a new study method for the next test, and came up with a plan to help her succeed. Now she was just a freshman, and quite honestly, I wasn't sure if our plan would work out, but I knew she could do it, and she ended up getting an A in the class and a 5 on the national exam. My entire point of telling you this story is to show you that it's okay to fail. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to have a bad day. What matters is how we move forward. Remember, you are taking a risk. You are challenging yourself in this class. And with risks and challenges comes failure. But you can and will work through that. And you can and will succeed. All right, so that's the top 5 tips that former students wish they knew. Now, if you do want to see some of their responses and some other tips from former students, head on over to my Discord server, where you can not only find the different tips from former AP students, but also review resources for the class, daily practice questions, and an awesome community to study with. Thank you all so much for the support. As always, I'm Mr. Sinn, and I will see you next time online.